capacity. Finally I found it. 5.7% only. Jeez. How am I supposed to survive today? I thought one of these batteries is still full, but apparently not. Because we've got negative 14 amps outside and 9% state of charge. This is what I'm getting from my solar. 170 watts and 28.8. 0.8! Guys, welcome back to the Off-Grid Garage in... Oh, it's so sunny. It is the most terrible weather you can actually imagine. It is raining since last night and today no sun at all. Nothing. Zero, nada. I think I made like 3.5 kilowatt hours today or so, and I've managed to charge the battery from 3.9% this morning to 9% just now. And it is late in the afternoon, so the sun is going down anyway, and we are already discharging the battery. Well guys, as you have seen, I have connected the Orient Power, the Jackie battery again with the brand new PACE BMS with Wi-Fi connection and Bluetooth. And after testing this BMS and battery 3-4 weeks ago or something, PACE was actually so kind to design and program a new firmware for this new BMS. So we should be able to communicate now with the new BMS and also the older BMSs which don't have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connection. And this didn't work before. Yeah, we could not set the new BMS as a master BMS and make it talk to the older versions of the PACE BMS. But now with this update, this is supposed to work. So, alright, let's have a look what is going on. And as you may remember, we actually have 4 different software packages for the PACE BMS right now. Okay, one is for the RS485, but the other tools are just upgraded versions, but they have different functionality. One of them is not showing the delta, the cell delta, for example, while the other one does. But in this one, we cannot change any settings, for example. So you need to basically jump back and forward all the time. And no wonder, there is actually a 5th software version which you need to upgrade the BMS with a new firmware. So I have connected the computer already with the RS232, yeah, exactly. And this plugs into the RS232 port of the Jackie battery. And we double tap on this. Yeah, it looks pretty straightforward. Flashlight. This is a nice button. Does it flash a light? I don't know. Okay, so COM9. Address is 1. Baud rate, we leave it. Flashlight. There's no light flashing. I don't know. That must be one of these weird translations or so. Okay, we go on browse. We go into the PACE BMS folder, and this is the firmware here. It's the 1.00A. Is it for Andy? Maybe it's just one for me. I don't think this is actually an official firmware. I don't know. But this is the BMS version 41995. We have seen this number before when we tested the BMS. So we select this file, click on open. It has it here, password. Oh, the password was in this PDF document. I don't know why they put the password on the software when it is in the PDF document anyway. 541800. 541800. Okay, it's all green. Upgrade. In preparation, please wait a moment. The upgrade is ready. Are you sure you want to upgrade? Yes. Okay, it obviously checks the firmware before, and now it is doing something. All the lights have turned off here of the BMS. There's no light anymore. Let's see if the screen still works. Yes, it does. No. Oh, yeah, here we go. All right, it is still uploading. It takes a long time. Is that RS232 and 9600 baud? Takes a while. Wow, it is uploading for 1.5 minutes already. Oh yeah, it's 62% only. Oh, wow. And as you have seen, I've also have my winter t-shirt on again because it is freaking freezing outside. Successful upgrade. Nice. Should I turn off flashlight again? I don't know what that means, flashlight. No, it doesn't do anything. I don't know. Okay, let's get out of here. Close all this stuff. Go into the Orient Power. Connects right away. And we can see we now have the 1.00A. What did we have before? Okay, before we had the 1.00, and now we've got the 1.00A for Andy. Okay. All right, yeah, so we, I don't think anything else has changed. See, this software, there's the delta missing. We don't see a delta between all the cell voltages here. You need to go into an older software version to see the delta. All right, I would say let's fire up all the other batteries here as well. This is number 1, master, number 2, slave 1, and number 3, slave number 2. And we connect them all with the internal RS485. Oh yeah, we can do it like this actually. And see what I did? It is not daisy chained anymore. We're going from the master, 1 battery down, and from the master, 1 battery up. No, it should work. Okay, I've also connected the CAN port of this battery to the Raspberry Pi test. It introduces itself as Pylon, not as PACE. I want to go into details. Yes, so we can see 1 battery is online. Why is there only 1 online? The birds are coming. You have to see this. Yeah, here they come. Look at this. Wow, there are so many. There are so many. Wow. This happens every afternoon now. I think it's a winter thing. They are coming from somewhere and then they're going down here somewhere where there's a big lake. And I think this is where they sleep overnight. And then in the morning they come back and go the other way, some feeding grounds anywhere, and then in the afternoon they all come back and are all very happy. How cool is that? Not so cool is that we cannot see any other batteries in here. Let me see if my cabling is not really correct here or so. I don't know. So I now have the new battery and our old battery connected. We should see it too online, right? We should see that. But there's nothing. If I disconnect the CAN, does it communicate? Yeah. So this goes away. And I plug in the CAN port again. Yeah, it comes back. So 1 battery is working, but it doesn't communicate with the other batteries again. Oh, really? Why does it show 570 ampere hours and 4 available? Okay, let's get out of here. Let's go all the way down and say press to redetect the battery. And we go back into details. There's 1 online only. Only 1 online. Okay, I don't understand what's going on here. Okay, let me pull out all the slaves. That's just the new PACE BMS as master. All dip switches are on 0. And it shows me 470 ampere hours. Why is that? Okay, let me turn this one to 1. Oh, there's nothing. There's nothing happening. Welcome back to the same video, but it is actually the next day. And look at this. Look at the change in weather. But it is super windy today. So I definitely need to set up my wind generator here in the garage at some stage. It is so windy. But only for today. So yeah, yesterday the camera battery was empty and it was just getting too late and too cold here inside the garage. So I thought I'd continue the video tomorrow. So welcome back. Okay, I spent some time with this PACE BMS this morning and let me show you what I found. So at the moment I have only the new PACE BMS connected to the Raspberry Pi via CAN, and I have to set the dip switch to 1 for the master, not to 0. If I set it to 0, all the data disappears, it stops talking to the Raspberry Pi then. I could not get the discharge current limit to work. It always shows 0.0 amps, regardless what I do. So if this BMS is connected to your inverter, it will disallow discharging your battery. I can change and modify all the other parameters here, the charge voltage limit and the charge current limit, but not the discharge current limit. So there seems to be a bug. All right, let's do a redetect of the battery. There's nothing else connected, just this one battery. And as we have seen yesterday already, it still shows me 2 batteries online. There's definitely nothing plugged in. There's only a cable plugged in, but nothing on the other side. It's only 1 battery, but it shows me 2 online. So it does some weird stuff here. I couldn't really reproduce it. See, again, 2 online. Where's the other battery coming from? It is only 1 there. Okay, let me change the dip switch to 000. And let's do a redetect of the battery. It's still 2 online. I don't know why it shows 2 online. No freaking idea. 233 ampere hours, yeah? So, let me set the master BMS to 1 again. And I'll plug in the LAN cable now to the top battery, which is the slave and sits on 2. Alright, so we've got master and slave connected now, and it shows us 2 online, which is correct now, but nothing else, right? Nothing else. Okay, let's do a redetect again. Still got 2 online. But now you can see it has upgraded the install capacity from 233 to 332 ampere hours. Available is still 4 ampere hours. This one is not changing. If you remember the video I made a couple of weeks ago about this parallel setup of the PACE BMS, this one actually showed 1128 ampere hours all the time, and it didn't change. Now it shows 4 ampere hours all the time. But at least it reads obviously the capacity of the batteries now. Yeah, but can we trust these numbers here? I don't know, because when I disconnect the slave, it doesn't change. There are always 2 battery modules online. So if 1 battery fails, it is not getting reported to your inverter. So this is not good. Okay, let's go into the parameters and see if there's any change. Yes, there is. Okay, let me unplug the slave battery, and we should see the charge current limit going down to 90 for 1 battery then. Or maybe not. See, this is a huge safety hazard. If 1 battery is unplugged, it's not there anymore. It needs to tell the inverter, so the inverter throttles down. But nothing happens. Look at this. So I have to go back here, go to redetect, go into parameters again. Doesn't update. Man, I don't know what's going on here. Parameter settings, it sits on 100 amps, so it should actually show 90 amps. Oh, now it has done it. Does it take 5 minutes? Okay, let's plug in the slave again. Maybe I'm too impatient. Ah, here you go, 180. Okay, let me try again. Unplug the slave. Slave has got a fault, battery has turned off or something. Does it still tell the inverter to charge with 180 amps? I've got the cable here in my hand. The slave is not plugged in. Whoa, that is so bad. I'm very patient here. I'm super patient. Do you reckon it should update automatically now, by now? I'm not doing a redetect. We just go into details. It still says 2 batteries online. 332 ampere hours. I've got the cable still in my hand. There's nothing connected to the master. Parameters still 180. That is bad. So this is not working at all. It's a huge safety risk to use this PACE BMS in parallel, at least with this firmware. I don't know, this is not good. Okay, let me turn it to 000 again to redetect. I don't think it has even updated the numbers here. There's nothing. It's not even communicating correctly. Let's have a look. Services. CAN. Network status. Well, it is talking to the BMS. You can see the RX and TX data packages coming in and out. And there's no error. Is one dropped because I unplugged the cable maybe. But yeah, it's communicating. So if I unplug the CAN, let me unplug the CAN. Yeah, it goes immediately into error passive and all the communication stops obviously. And I plug it back in. It goes to error warning. But you can see the communication is there. Details to online. I don't understand it. I don't get it. This is all this information is not really reliable coming in here. See, it shows me the lowest cell in battery number 2, which is not even connected. Okay, so this firmware they provided me with, the 1.00a, was supposed to fix all that. It was supposed to enable a communication between the new PACE BMS and the older PACE BMS versions. But it's not working. Clearly not working. Okay, let me quickly try the other 230 ampere hour battery, which has the same BMS, basically, the same size BMS. Just, does it show here 233? It recognizes only one battery, but shows 2 online. Let's do a redetect. I don't know why I have trouble saying this word. Details. This number has changed now. The voltage has changed. 2 online, 471 ampere hours and 4 ampere hours are available. Okay, let me disconnect the slave. It's nothing happening. There's nothing. 180 for 2 batteries, but only one is connected. Well, guys, at this stage I cannot recommend this BMS at all because it doesn't work. It has some serious safety concern issues. See, it should really drop down to 90 amps now. It still reports 2 batteries to your inverter. And the inverter charges full power into only 1 battery now. This is not good. Okay, let me... Parameter settings. Let me change this one here to 50. Now it has changed to 90. 40. Why is it changing if I bring this window to the front? That is so strange. Okay, let me plug in the slave again. It's 2 online, but it reports 233. Let me bring this window back to the top here. Does it change anything then? Read all. See, I'm doing a read only, and it changes the parameters. Okay, turn off the slave again. Slave is unplugged. Yes, it changed to 80. I'm telling the inverter charge with 50 amps and it should actually take 10 amps off, so 40 amps. Now it shows 40. Why was it 80 before? That is crazy. Okay, I plug in the slave again and the slave sits on 100. So it's a 100 plus 50. It's 150 and then minus 20 amps. 10 for each BMS. It's not updating. To a right. Hello? 80. See, I do a right, it updates. But it doesn't update itself when I'm doing nothing. And here again, it assumes the slave battery is the same size and has the same settings as the master, which is not correct. Yeah, the slave sits on 100 amp charge current. See again, no slave, no update. Read all. Write all. No update. See how inconsistent this all is? That is not good. Okay, I would say we are stopping testing this here. This is really crap. I mean, come on. They watched my video clearly, yeah? I made 2 videos about the Checky battery. One was about the Checky battery capacity test and everything, and the build quality was not great because there were loose screws and the BMS and displays were not really mounted correctly. And then in the second video, I explored the parallel function of the 3 PACE BMSs together, all different versions. And they texted me, Andy, please stop testing. So I did. I stopped testing and I gave them a really bad review for their crappy firmware. And then they came back and said, well, we've got a new firmware for you here. This solves the problem. So I put the 100A for Andy on this BMS, and it is actually even worse because now it's only half working. Let me plug in the slave again here. It sits from 40 amps. So it tells the inverter there are 2 batteries connected while there is only 1 battery connected. So the inverter actually ramps up production, and this is really, really bad. So my biggest concern is here that the information the master BMS gets from the slave batteries is not correct, or it's not actually factoring in the data. It only sees a second battery and assumes it is the same size as itself. Yeah, when we set this one here, for example, for 100 amp of charge current, it automatically assumes the other battery connected to it takes another 100 amps as well. But this is a smaller battery. This has only 100 ampere hours and this is a 230. So if I have a charge current of 100 amps here and only 50 amps here, it still allows the inverter to charge with 200 amps. So there is still a huge problem with the communication between master and slave batteries with the PACE BMS. Okay, I would say I'm refusing to test any further. So they need to do all the testing, and when they are confident everything works as it's supposed to be, they can contact me again and give me a firmware which actually works. Yeah. Until then, I would not recommend using this new PACE BMS with the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi functionality because it doesn't work. It has some serious issues here with reporting the correct values to your inverter. And this could be potentially very, very dangerous. Now it has updated to 80, even by plugging in and not doing anything on the computer. I'll unplug again. See if it works. I don't know. Guys, anyway, thank you so much for over 111,111 subscribers here on the channel. You are amazing for everything you are doing. Great support, great comments. Thank you for liking these videos, sharing them everywhere. This all makes them possible. And also thank you for all your financial support. Of course, this keeps the channel independent. So thank you very, very much for everything you are doing. Alright, my friends, until the next video when we do something more successful than, oh, it has just reduced the CCL to 40. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes or so. Anyway, yeah, when we do something more successful here on the Off Grid Garage YouTube channel. Until then, guys, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks again for watching. See you then. Bye-bye. And also the MB56 has arrived.